Even our dimension. We see a man named Fetcher Buckle, a man captivated by the wonders of Cryptown. A town of monsters, mysteries, and murder. What more will you see? You'll have to find out. Joining us today is Spook You. This is the Fetcher Buckle Show. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ghosts and ghouls. My name is Fetcher Buckle, and welcome to the Spooky Show Round, bringing you the creepiest tales to keep you up at night. If you enjoy my show, give the bell a click to be notified when I go on air. Every Sunday we are live, and who knows, we might even start uploading even more, even on Fridays perhaps. But today joining us is Spook You. So with that being said, let's welcome our friend.
Fetch, I just want to say thank you for having me. For real, it's an honor to be here this evening, and I'm really excited to dive into this, and you really have no idea how much this means to me.
Yes, all well and good, but we're done hearing from you. He wanted to hear from me, Barnabas, because, I am Spook You, and I think I could speak for all of us at Spook You when I say we really appreciate what it is that you do here. We love your show. It's always a gruesomely good time.
It's an honor having you here, friend. Now, please, do tell us about yourself and what you do.
Of course. So I'm Trey, and I'm the creator of Spook You. So what we do at Spook You is we deliver terrifying, horrifying, and downright scary stories to you each and every week, every Tuesday and Thursday. And it's not just myself, it's also my host, Barnabas. Now, Barnabas is a 2-foot-tall green monster who likes to talk a lot, and he kind of intros and outros each episode. And between you and me, he's a little full of himself, but don't let him hear you say that.
Full of myself? How dare you? Me, Barnabas? Full of what do you do? Really, what do you do here around this channel besides read your little stories? And, you don't even edit your own audio. You have the gremlins down the hall that do it for you. And don't even get me started about how you have manicures and pedicures the whole time you're recording, and you can't be bothered to get up out of your seat to do simple menial tasks like clean up around here and, that one time in the break room with
That's enough, Barnabas. All right, I'll take it from here. So we just came up on our 1-year anniversary, which is incredible. I don't know. I never really thought I'd make it this far, to be completely honest with you. And just, the support from people watching and just to see how much people enjoy my content it's awesome. And it's honestly really humbling, Thank you, really quick, just for everybody that's out there watching, my channel and supporting me. I really do appreciate it. Alongside this, I am in radio, so, using my voice is something that I do on a day-to-day basis, and really, I love it, man. It's a dream come true, and I really couldn't ask for anything better, honestly. Oh, and really quick, I wanted to say that I do have something up and coming, kind of a new show that I'm going to be doing on Spook You, and I'm not really going to release a whole lot here. I'll have some details upcoming hopefully soon. I'm kind of in the works on it, but I think you guys will really like it, so keep a lookout for that.
That's absolutely wonderful. Now I want to tell you something.
Fetch? What was that?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I wonder who that could be. One moment, I'm terribly sorry.
No worries. Take your time.
What do you need, Mr. Rice? I got company. Fetch, I'm not here to bother you. I wanted to stop by in person and thank you. Thank you for paying your rent. It means a lot to me. You have my utmost respect. But don't forget, if you ever,
and I mean ever,
forget to pay your rent again, you know what happens.
Have a good evening.
You too.
So who was at the door?
Don't worry about it. Now folks, it's time to dive into tonight's stories. So turn off the lights, get comfortable, and let's take it to the tales that await you. Take it away, Spook You.
For the longest time, I believed that monsters weren't real. It just seems too unnatural for something like a giant, 3-headed lizard or an octopus big enough to swallow ships to exist. Over the years, many stories have been told of terrifying beasts killing people and whatnot, but I personally thought this was a load of crap. But last year, I experienced something that made me believe that some form of monster has to exist. It was fall of 2019 when my brother and I were going to camp out in the woods. I'd never been camping before, so I thought it would be a fun, new experience. We were going to camp out in a small clearing that Joseph, my brother, had found when he had been there before. I unpacked a few things from my bag and set up my tent near the center of the clearing. It was small and tight, but I didn't really mind. I'd slept in worse places. The rest of the day, I just explored the campsite and everything in its vicinity. I didn't find anything interesting, but at least I'd gotten used to my surroundings. We were going to be staying here for 5 days, so I was glad that I'd already settled in. When dusk came around, Joseph and I went out for a walk in the woods. All the trees looked withered, but that was what made this place special. The woods were called the Withered Woods for a reason. Nothing interesting happened during our walk, but I did laugh when Joseph got frightened by an owl. I also caught a fish in the nearby lake. And shortly after that, we headed back to the campsite for the night. Joseph said he was going straight to sleep, so I decided to go to bed too. I had trouble sleeping that night. I wasn't sure why I couldn't get to sleep, so I just shrugged it off as insomnia. The next morning, I woke up at around 8 o'clock and found Joseph sitting in front of the fire. "Want a sandwich?" he asked me as soon as he noticed. "Sure," I replied. He got up and grabbed a bag from his tent, pulling out a sandwich wrapped in foil. As I ate my breakfast, I stared out into the woods around us where I could have sworn I saw a shape in the trees. I blinked a few times before confirming that I must have been seeing things. There were no other people here. How right I was. After eating breakfast, Joseph and I went out for another walk. It was a bright day, but there was still an eerie atmosphere. I couldn't place my finger on it, but something didn't feel right. A couple hours passed and we returned to the campsite, finding that our tents had been ravaged. God damn it, Joseph shouted. I bet there were raccoons here or something. Dan, mind helping me out? I helped Joseph set the tents back up and gather everything on the ground, but there was something I noticed. The fish I had caught was gone. Last night, I put it in my bag before going to bed, and it was nowhere in sight now, though. The raccoons probably took it with them, but why only take the fish? Everything else was there, just scattered all over the ground. It was confusing, but I decided not to dwell on it. At night, I just went straight to bed again. Luckily, I fell asleep a lot easier than the night before. The next morning, I woke up before Joseph did. I sat down by the unlit fire and waited for Joseph to wake up. That's when I heard a low growl in the distance. I jumped up and looked around. Nothing. There was nothing but trees. Maybe it's just my imagination, I thought. I looked around the area one more time before sitting back down. Joseph was stretching in his tent, yawning loudly. "Did you hear anything?" I asked him. He shook his head, getting out of the tent. I stared off into the trees, questioning whether I did actually hear something or not. Once again, Joseph and I went for a walk. This time, we encountered something that shook me. A trail of blood. "What the fuck?" Joseph said, staring at the blood with an unreadable expression. I looked at the blood, feeling sick, but I was curious. Where did the trail lead? This blood didn't belong to a person, right? No, it would be stupid to follow the blood. "We should go back," I told Joseph. He looked at me as if I was mad. "Are you kidding me? This could be a person's blood. We have to go help them," he exclaimed. "We can't risk it. What if there's a killer or something? I tried to reason with him. So you'd rather save yourself than someone else? This guy could be in danger. He wouldn't give in. We don't even know if it's a person's blood. It could just be an animal, I said. Well, we won't know unless we find out. Come on. With that, he left. Joe, wait! I called after him, but he kept going. Hesitating, I ran after him. The trail seemed to go on for a while, and eventually, we found the source. Before us lay a small, brown rabbit. It had a singular bite mark on its body. It was breathing slowly, water in its eyes. Poor thing, Joseph said, looking down at the rabbit. I told you it might not have been human, I said, feeling slightly guilty as I looked down at the defenseless critter. The two of us were silent for a moment. We stared at the rabbit. It was still alive, but paralyzed. Soon it would die from blood loss. And there was nothing we could do. The next day, Joseph and I stayed at the campsite. I felt terrible about yesterday. That rabbit would be dead by now, and all I felt was guilt. I don't know why. There was nothing I could do. I decided to take a nap. I woke up in the middle of the night. There was a loud ruckus going on nearby. I rushed out of my tent where an unexpected scene played out before me. Joseph was lying on the ground, a look of terror on his face. His skin was pale, blood forming a pool around him. And on top of him, a furry black mass with bull-like horns feasted on his flesh. When it felt my presence, it turned around. Its face was hidden in the darkness of the night, but I saw its devilish red eyes. It opened its mouth and roared, shaking every bone in my body. I don't know what happened. I just remember running away. I don't even know what killed him, what killed my brother. I just ran. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe it was just a bear or something. No, that was definitely not a bear. Bears don't have horns. Bears don't have demonic eyes. I don't know what that thing was. All I know is that whatever killed Joseph was a monster.
Well, that wraps up today's interesting show. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Also, special thanks to Spook You for joining me this evening. If you guys want to give his channel a visit, I highly suggest you do. He has a variety of content that you will absolutely enjoy. I'll link his info in the description below. But that's all for now. Thank you for tuning in and tune back in next Sunday. My name is Fetch Buckle.
And my name's Trey with Spook You.
And me, Barnabas. Don't forget me. We're done? Oh, okay.
Signing off.
Oh, and Fetch, one final thing really quick before we go, if that's okay with you.
Of course, friend, not a problem.
I just wanted to let people that are watching know, maybe if you've come from my channel or maybe you saw this in a tweet that I shared, I want you to subscribe. He's a newer narrator on the scene, but honestly, man, he is phenomenal. The work that he puts out is some of the best that I've seen here in the community, and I love this guy to death, honestly. Just the conversations that we've had, off mic, in chats and things like that. Seriously, he is absolutely hilarious, and give him a chance. So please, if you're watching this, like this video, subscribe to his channel, seriously, and share it with your friends. Share it. Get the word out there. Let's pump his numbers up. He deserves many more subscribers than he has right now, seriously. Fetch, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you for the kind words. It means more than anything to me. You too have a safe evening. It's quite a bumpy road out there in the late night. But who am I kidding? You'll be fine. At least I hope so. I'm joking. I'm joking. Just watch out for Lucifer next door.